I'm Dawn Leimbach. I was born at Spartanburg Regional Hospital back when it was still Spartanburg General Hospital, and I lived with my family in Lyman. We moved to Landrum when I was in junior high, and I graduated from high school there. Since my mom and my sister still live there, that feels like my hometown. As I was growing up, there were a lot of different things I thought about doing. They were kind of all over the map, but one thing I consistently wanted to be was a wife and a mother. Dave and I met the year after 9/11 at work. He had been in the Marines before we met. And he told me from some pretty early conversations that he wanted to deploy and be involved in the current conflict. So I wasn't really surprised when he joined a Marine Reserve unit, and then after doing that for about a year, he joined a National Guard unit that guaranteed he would deploy. I knew before he left that I had become his best friend. I was pretty sure that he loved me, but he didn't want to leave anybody behind. So I was really surprised when he'd been gone for a couple of months and he asked me to marry him. I was actually really surprised. At first we planned to wait till he got home to get married, but we finally ended up deciding to get married while he was on leave. That turned out to be January of 2008. So we had a couple weeks together and he went back, and then less than 5 months later he was killed. It was May 25th, 2008. It was the day before Memorial Day. It was a Sunday, and I still remember, I had no idea what had happened. I remember praying for him before service started that Sunday. I was a little nervous because I didn't hear from him that afternoon, and we usually talked on Sunday afternoons, but stuff happened, so I tried not to worry. But late that evening, I got a knock on the door. There were uniformed officers at the door. That's never a good thing. At that point, I didn't even know where he was, and the only real information I got was he was the only casualty, that they'd been ambushed and that they had come under fire. It took a while to find out more than that, but I eventually found out he'd been a driver that day. He didn't have to get out of the vehicle, but he did. He went to take ammunition to somebody who had gotten really low and stayed to help defend the position. And that's when it happened, and thankfully his death was instant.